One love, Delta 9 travelers. Welcome back to the channel. Listen, so many things to update one another with since the last time we were live. I'm telling you, we got World Cup going on. Who's your favorite team so far in the tournament? Right now, I'm looking at France or Argentina. Those me two favorite teams for the tournament right now. Drop you teams them or the team that is your favorite to win the competition in the comment section, right? Because we got to get into these conversations as well. There are some local headlines. The speaker allegedly sent out a warning, and two MPs had a conversation for the speaker about that very warning that was initiated allegedly. We can get into that right here in this presentation. Plus, listen, we're going to get a chance to see some of the presidential steps that is going to be made to upgrade, right, the Garden City, right? Some presidential infrastructural developments are on the way, and we're going to get some highlights coming from none other than the president himself. Also, we hearing about this multi-million dollar raid. Yeah, them headlines and other strong conversations going on in Guyana right now, right here in this live presentation, buddy. I'm telling you, big up to all the frequent travelers that are live with us. Big up to everyone that's going to catch this live in the rewind in the future. Thanks for spending some time with us right here on Delta 9 Media. Right now, we all are caught up in the loop of everything that's going on. Well, I mean, most of us, because some persons are not big sports fans, but I've been playing football from a young youth, you understand? Pee-wee competition in Torts Park and then things, every time when the World Cup come around, I could still remember where I was when I watched the game when France won the World Cup. And then other World Cups, you got other memories and then things. So what's your favorite World Cup team? Drop it in the comment section, but it's World Cup fever right now. And persons all over the world are talking about everything that's going on in World Cup. Do you hear some of these details before we jump into some of the local headlines? Big up again to all the travelers that are live with us. Thanks for spending some time with us here at Delta 9 Media.
Haiti and Brazil share a fascinating history. Their connection extends far beyond football. Together, they tell a powerful story of Black resistance, Black survival, Black liberation. From an economic and geopolitical standpoint, Haiti, or Saint-Domingue, and Brazil were arguably the two most influential and valuable colonies in the Americas because
You see, this thing called football in some places is called soccer. Is a thing that is unify persons on all different levels, right? Plus, is also used to evoke a certain energy within the populace of certain countries and to create certain special moments in culture, buddy. Yeah, World Cup is a big thing all over the world. And I'm telling you, we're happy to be hosting it this time, right? Big up to everybody who get the chance to go to some of the games and catch some of the real watch parties. I'm telling you, so many things going on. So many things.
of the brutal slave system, they helped shape the world's economy. Brazil was the largest destination for enslaved people during the slave trade. About 40% of Africans that were stolen from their lands and forced across the Atlantic landed in Brazil. And so, in the 17th century, Brazil became the world's leading sugar producer. But by the 18th century, Haiti, Saint-Domingue, took that title. Because of the brutality on the island, Saint-Domingue became the richest colony in the world, producing 50% of all of the sugar and 60% of all of the coffee consumed in the world. There were rebellions
Wow.
across both colonies, and in 1804, Haiti became the first free Black republic and the first nation to permanently abolish slavery.
Mm.
Brazil was the last to abolish slavery. Those two stories are intertwined. The Haitian Revolution sent shockwaves across the Atlantic world, nowhere more than in Brazil, who imported more enslaved Africans than any other society. And so Brazilian slave owners tightened their grip on the enslaved population. They expanded surveillance and strengthened their slave codes and reacted more harshly to any signs of resistance. The mere
Wow.
mention of Haiti was equivalent to rebellion. But Haiti's influence couldn't be contained. In fact, one of Brazil's largest and most significant rebellions, the Malé slave revolt of 1835, was directly inspired by the Haitian Revolution. Haiti was the first to abolish slavery, and Brazil was the society that endured it the longest. Africans in Brazil persevered and resisted. They created quilombos, which were settlements of enslaved people who refused to live under colonial rule. So they made free Black communities across the jungles and mountains and forests of Brazil. In their
Mm. So much rich history, right? In Brazil. Remember, Brazil got the largest population of Africans outside of Africa, right next door to me, right? So it's a special time in GT every time Brazil play. Big up to all the persons who are Brazil fans who saying Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, right? Romario from back in the days. You know what I'm saying? Big up to all the Brazil fans. We definitely get a chance to catch up on some of the history of Haiti and some of the history of Brazil. And so that we realize and we present in the manner as well. Because recently there was a celebration of Father's Day, right? But to be honest with you honor your parents every single day. Father's Day, Mother's Day is not just one day, but it's every opportunity that you get because life is so short. And how could you not take every opportunity that you get to honor those that are responsible for you being here? Now, there's this special presentation that I'm about to do that is going to give you some insights about just how special the father is when it comes down to the youth being born or the baby in the womb. Let's hear some of these esoterics coming in from Dr. Yaki right here, right now.
Does not come from the baby, nor do the placenta come from the actual mother, but it comes from the father. The placenta. Do you know that the placenta comes from the 100% of the father's chromosomes and DNA makes the placenta? For those that don't know what the placenta is how the baby eats. The placenta is how the baby receives oxygen. The placenta is how the baby get rid of carbon dioxide. The placenta protects the baby, give it all of its growth hormones. Without the placenta, the baby will not grow. So this just shows you that the moment of conception, when that baby is first conceptualized, right, the placenta start to be formed. The father is still working to provide food. The father is still working to provide oxygen, or what we call consciousness, to the baby. The father is still working to provide a steady flow of bloodstream. So the father provides a way for the baby to get the food. Guess what the woman do? She eats the food. The woman eats the food break down, and then the baby receives it from what the father provided, which is the placenta. And that's how the baby actually receives the food. The father creates the placenta for the baby to get his water source. The mother drinks the water, right? But the father provided that piping network. The mother drinks the water, then the baby receives the water. So it just shows you this relationship before the baby is even out of the womb, how the roles of the mother and of the father. A father, he builds the house, but the house ain't furnished. The house ain't got no pictures up. The house ain't got a table. The mother make it a home. The father go and get the meal. He bring it to the actual house, and then the mother takes it and cook it and turn it into a meal. So the father get the food, provide the food, she turn it into a meal. The father makes the money.
Yeah.
The mother have all of these bright ideas on how to flip the money and make the money grow and get greater. So when you look at a woman is a finisher, man.
Big up to all the fathers out there. You know what I'm saying? Just thought I'd drop that piece of information right there. Fathers being responsible for the placenta. You know, Delta 9 Media, just keep it. We like dropping certain insightful pieces on the platform, right? There's so much headlines going on right now. So many headlines going on. But like we said, we're in World Cup fever. So let's hear from one of the players right now that's having one of the best World Cups. He just actually get the record for the most goals scored in the World Cup. None other than Mr. Messi himself. Let's hear.
It wasn't going to be easy and worse than the way the entire World Cup went or how it is going, which are all very close matches, which already, as I said last time, nobody gives anything away. Today we also saw a lot of intensity. At times, it wasn't hard to make long positions that want. It is true that they didn't do any damage either, but well, it was a very, very tight match, very intense, where it was difficult to play. We had to play very fast. At times we did it, but hey, the important thing was to qualify. Obviously, our plan is always to win every match. We are Argentina, and we will always go for the matches against any rival, but we know that it is not easy and that we have to prove it on the pitch. And I think Argentina did it today. But as I said,
Big up to Messi on the new world record, right? Because he's now the person that's holding the record for the most goals scored in the World Cup, period, right? But guess who's coming very close? Very close. Mbappe, right? That's why I'm telling you, listen, you see the France team and the Argentina team, those two teams, buddy, them two teams right there got the potential to carry away the cup. I know y'all think, drop it in the comment section. We have some real conversations about it, because Mbappe got 16 goals. He done scored 3 already in this World Cup so far. And we know that Messi already put in 5 goals in 2 World Cup matches. So Mbappe got 16 in total and Messi got 18 in total. But why Mbappe got the advantage is because time can tell. You know why time can tell? Because guess what? Mbappe is way younger than Messi. This is more than likely going to be Messi's last World Cup. Messi's 39 years old. So more than likely in 4 years from now, I don't think, you never know, but I don't think that Messi is going to be looking to be a part of the World Cup 4 years from now. So Mbappe now only got 2 or 3 more goals that he needs to score in the World Cup to break Messi record as is. This if Messi don't score more goals throughout the World Cup. But we say Messi finish off at 27. Mbappe now would still got 2 World Cup or 1 World Cup because we don't score 3 already. So you never know. I'm telling you, time will tell the tale. But guess what? We hear a little bit of the insightful mindset coming from Mbappe himself. Big up to all the travelers right now. World Cup fever. I'm hearing from the 2 players that's having one of the best World Cups so far. Mbappe and Messi.
Important also to keep a balance because football it's just a big thing in my life, but there is not only football in life. So it's good to open my mind to other things and to explore everything I can explore. I try to do normal things first because there is nothing normal in the world in football. I have one friend like he don't care about football, so all the time we start talking about football. For him it's so boring. So it's you have nothing else in your life than football. But it's my friends.
Killian, what's something people would be surprised to hear that you do in your spare time?
Oh, I think they will be surprised to know that sometimes in my day off, I love to do nothing and stay home because everybody thinks that our life is so exciting. We do everywhere and thing, but sometimes we just love to chill at home and do nothing like everybody. And I know because sometimes one day was a friend of me would bring a friend to my house and he was surprised that I was like doing nothing. He was thinking that everybody was like super fast, super chill. I say, no. It's just Sunday. I want to stay home.
Telling you, just a regular Sunday. Just chill, just stay home. You know what I mean? Just relax yourself. I mean, sometimes we don't think that these superstar athletes just have normal experiences like that. But guess what? We just hear from Mbappe himself, letting us know that days always go sometime, buddy. Sometimes you just want to do nothing and just chill, you know? Yeah, so they got this big back and forth going on right now between the speaker and some MPs. But guess what? The speaker had this to say. So we're going to hear from the speaker first. Then we're going to get a chance to hear the views coming directly from the two MPs. If you haven't already, Delta 9 Travelers, thumbs up the presentation. Thumbs up, hit that thumbs up button. And make sure that you are subscribed. It costs you nothing, but it will keep you connected with everything trending in Guyana and in the diaspora. We hear from the speaker.
That particular MP, I believe, was set up, right? People set up this situation because MP Halley had said they knew the composition of committees. They knew. So if you knew what the composition of committees are, why are you going to go and break the rule? It has to be a setup so that they can find a media storm over nothing. And so I was so disappointed in those MPs. But we have also rules in the House for dealing with MPs who deliberately mislead.
Rules for dealing with MPs? There's a what weird man. What going on here? Rules for what? Let me hear one more time for emphasis.
In those MPs, but we have also rules in the House for dealing with MPs who deliberately mislead, criticize the lawful rulings of the Speaker.
Okay.
And so let's see what the next sitting of Parliament will bring, because in my view, if we don't start nipping these untruths by members of Parliament, and they're supposed to be, when they're in the House, honorable members, I want to advise politicians, if you want people to take you seriously, if you want to stick around as long as I have been, and this is counting over 30 odd years, you have to got some principles. More particularly, you got to be honest.
I'm telling you, you hear directly from the speaker himself. He's saying, buddy, if you want to play the long game, then you got to play it in this manner. Well, guess what? The MPs would have broken their silence on this matter. And we're going to hear directly from Honorable Amansa Walton Desir. She had this to say about the whole situation.
And said that I was set up, that Wynn apparently set me up. And because they knew the composition of the committee and they knew, yet they tried to alter the composition of the committee. And that is, like we said before, is not true. The number was 5, the number remained 5. Nobody sought to expand or enlarge that. And I think, for it to be suggested that this was dishonest or wrong really is stretching the truth and straining credulity, and to suggest that this was somehow designed to create a media storm over nothing is really troubling. So I think I need to address that very, very carefully and completely. So let's talk about what he said, the setup claim. Like I said, that rests on an argument that suggests that a rule was being broken, right? Because if no rule was broken, there couldn't be a setup. In effect, what simply happened, a request was made for me to occupy a seat that was already within the configuration. So proportionality, like I said before, was never an issue. The total composition remained exactly as it was. So speaking, the name must say what rule was broken, right? And if you can't name what rule was broken, it simply means what you are calling a setup is just actually a request that you did not want to grant.
So we heard what the MP had to say, right? Directly addressing the person that was addressing her. Now, what are your views, Delta 9 travelers? We're going to hear some more. Our Honorable Amansa is expressing on the whole situation. Right after we hear some of what Honorable Haley had to say about the whole thing. If nothing else, we're happy to see the unity between the opposition parties on this matter, because it's unity or else, buddy.
Part of the opposition. The record will show that the parliamentary opposition was united in the nomination submitted, and that the issue which arose did not stem from any defect in the nomination process. Rather, it arose from an interpretation that is not expressly grounded in the standing orders. Now, I said before that everyone was aware that FGM was not entitled to a seat based on their calculations that were done by the clerk of the National Assembly that was sent to all parties. So we were aware, based on their interpretation, based on their calculations, that they gave some seats to APNU, they gave some seats to WIN, and they gave seats to the government. And no seats were allocated to FGM. It was on that basis that WIN determined that we were willing to give one of our seats in certain committees to the MP from Forward Guyana Movement.
Setting the record straight, so we get a chance to hear directly from the MPs the issue at the foundation of the conversation that the speaker was raising. What are your views, Delta 9 travelers? Drop it into the comment section or call it in. Let's hear some more from the MP.
I hope we understand what is happening. The calculations that they did determined that FGM in and of itself could not get a seat. But because we were all part of the opposition, and WIN is the leading opposition party in the National Assembly, we so determined that there were some committees that we would nominate the MP to sit on, utilizing our seat allocation. Parliamentary practice throughout Westminster derived legislatures, including jurisdictions within the Commonwealth Caribbean, consistently affirms that committee membership reflects party entitlement and party autonomy in selecting their representatives, subject only to compliance with the applicable procedural rules. Any departure from that principle, absent an express standing order or a resolution of the House, would represent a significant departure from established parliamentary practice. And again, I reiterate that there is no place in the standing order that says that an opposition grouping cannot so determine any member of parliament it so desires to be on a committee. Accordingly, any suggestion.
Okay, so there's no part that clearly states that. You understand? So now we understanding better what's going on. Now we're getting a clearer foundation, because we get to hear conversations coming from the MPs and the conversation, even though short, coming from the speaker, so we could kind of realize, okay, so the speaker is raising an issue, but the MP is highlighting that, listen, show me the area, show me the information in the constitutional orders that will say X, Y, or Z about what's going on. We can hear some more from Amansa.
A natural way to stay ready, baby. 'Cause I'm ready for you, Mr. C. The ultimate male supplement, men's total wellness formula, packed with essential nutrients for men's health. She'll call you Mr. C.
And those are two very, very different things. And then we come to the issue of the threat. The Speaker of the National Assembly on camera referenced the rules of the House for dealing with MPs who criticize his rulings. He says, let us see what the next sitting of the Parliament will bring. And I want us to understand what that is. That is not a procedural reminder. That is a threat. That is a threat issued by the presiding officer of our house, our national house, the people's house, the presiding officer of parliament against a member or members of parliament for raising a parliamentary matter. And I want us to understand.
Yeah, the right there is crazy because for raising a parliamentary matter, a matter that might not be in accordance with what we heard from the MP, might not be specified in a certain way. Is that the right approach? What y'all think about it? Drop it in the comment section, buddy, because we're analyzing as many aspects and updates to this matter. Why? It's very important. Very, very important. As we're going to hear, highlighted by the MP. Let me hear some more from Honorable Amansa Walton Desir.
I want us to understand that. And I don't say it to be dramatic. I say it because it needs to be named for what it is. And I want you to understand the structural problem here because the speaker made a ruling, he decided it was lawful, and he's now threatening consequences for anyone who questions it. And everybody knows you can't be a judge in your own case, and the presiding officer can't just simultaneously make a rule, declare a ruling to be lawful, and then declare that he will enforce penalties against anyone who questions it. That is not parliamentary procedure. That is something else entirely. And when a person who's supposed to protect the rights of every member of parliament is the same person issuing threats about the consequences of challenging him, etc., we have moved out of the territory of procedure into something very, very different. And it is something that every Guyanese has to pay attention to. And then we talk about honesty, and the speaker advised politicians to be honest. And he said that if people want to take you seriously, you have to have principles and you have to be honest. And I agree with him completely, which is why I'm here, being honest about what happened, about what was requested, about what was refused, right? So, in responding to a decision that was made and a statement that was made, if honesty is the standard, let's apply it uniformly, right? Including to the claim that it was a setup, that a claim, and this is a claim that is made without any kind of evidence, about a request that literally broke no rule. So if you're going to be honest, let's be honest. And then we talk about the seniority matter, 30 odd years. The speaker says he's been in public life for 30 odd years and he wants to understand longevity, wisdom, and so on. And I want to be clear that I respect long service, but I want to be equally clear that longevity and long service is not a substitute for accountability. It doesn't cloak you in infallibility, right? And experience doesn't place any public official beyond scrutiny, right?
Insightful presentations coming from all parties. What are your views, Delta 9 travelers? You get a chance to hear from Honorable Amansa. You get a chance to hear from the Speaker of the House himself, and as well, Honorable Bill from the WIN party. Now, what are your views? We got the chance to hear from the two MPs themselves. Honorable Haley gave us her views coming from Team Win. Honorable Amansa for Forward, Guyana Movement, and obviously the Speaker giving us his views as the Speaker of the House. Big up to all the travelers that's going to catch this one in the rewind in the future. Thanks for tuning in to Delta 9 Media. I'm telling you, so many headlines, so many things for us to update one another with in this live presentation. I want to say big up to all of those that are going to catch this one in the future. If you're not subscribed, it don't cost you nothing, but it will keep you connected to everything trending in Guyana and in the diaspora. So thumbs up the live, thumbs up the presentation, and subscribe. Make sure that you stay connected.
Story. So I don't have much time. I'm en route to some more Kangalang, so I'm trying to get this out quickly, especially given the number of people we've been in contact today. Now, I would like you to go and come back. My phone ringing down today, so if you check VPAC's page last night, you would have seen we posted a video of a boat that was drifting down what was alleged to be the Siparuni River. And a few seconds into the video, what seems to be a large explosion rocks the boat and it seems to disintegrate. Now, we receive information that this boat, the explosion of this boat, was linked to recent joint services activities in the Siparuni area where they went to dismantle some illegal mining operations, right?
Wow.
Now, the plot thickens. The plot thickens because the allegations coming out of this raid is leading us to wonder if it was a state-sanctioned raid or it was a state-sanctioned robbery perpetrated by agents of the state who went to secure the environment pursuant, I believe, to Article 13 of the Constitution and whatever mining regulations exist that govern the usage of land and land rights and so on. So you've seen we just posted a collection of pictures showing not only some of the camps that the police went and the joint services went and used explosives to blow up, right? Guyanese people, they went and damaged their equipment. We're told that over 80 engines have been destroyed using explosives. The same government was handing out engines just before election, like little generators and stuff, and it now just exploded 80 of them. And in addition to that, reports of robbery and all that. Let me just start from the beginning. So the first thing that grabbed us was somebody sent a photo of a Venezuelan national, a Spanish woman that was caught up in this whole GDF joint services exercise, asking where she was. Give me a second. Yeah, guys, I'm back again. So what ended up happening now is the best of my understanding. Is the joint services went in, and I get into the appeal I'm making to the police because it concerns a young father that has two daughters. He got a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old. He's trying to support, and it seems that the police and army would have stolen or relieved this man of his only means of making a livelihood. And I can get to why I'm saying it sounds like they stole it from him in a minute. Let's cover the case of Eli Herrera, right? A 27-year-old Venezuelan national who was working in Guyana in the gold mines, a mother of 5 children, and I think she's from Guaracio or something like that in Venezuela. And she turned up missing. She was embroiled in this whole thing because what happened is the joint service, this is all the allegations that are coming out and eyewitness testimony. We spent the day this morning, VPAC. All right, I'm back again. Seems like my signal is getting a little patchy. But VPAC spent the morning speaking to a collection of people a mix of eyewitnesses and people that know what went down. So here are the allegations coming out. On Wednesday last, the GDF and joint services, the beginning of the coordination of this series of raids that was meant to take place, started with the army going in there and setting up a camp, right? By Thursday morning, there were people walking out the bush 4 or 5 hours that were alleging that on the Wednesday night, members of the GDF had tied them up, robbed them of their possessions, and left them tied up in the bush. And so they had to free themselves, and they had to walk to the nearest point. Now, more Army and TSU people followed. I'm told that a plane load of these officers arrived at Fairview. Those persons then were loaded into 3 boats. These are the allegations. I'm giving it to you as I got it. Those persons loaded into 3 crafts and then set off up the Ciparuni River.
More and more we keep hearing these conversations, you know. More and more we're hearing these conversations about different things going on in the mining area in our country. Recently, MPs were in the very mining area and they were locked out. Big gate and padlock. And persons clearly say, hey, only one person could tell me something. And it's definitely not none of y'all. MPs, we're talking about, you know, members of parliament, right? And now we're hearing our brother Bailey big up the whole of VPAC, because guess what? These brothers is always out and about doing the work of the people, right? It's not now we hearing this conversation about what's going on with this smuggling, you know, it's been a while now. And these allegations are getting more frequent and even more crazy. Take a look at this. Take a look at this before we jump back into more of Bailey's highlight here.
This is the Alfonso. We're moving into the place that the small miners them just walk in. Now they come with the warrant and the police and they put out everybody. Watch what they're bringing in here, so. This is what going on here. So the little fish them can't live, the little people them can't fucking live. They can't live because as soon as you see you make something, you're going somewhere for work, they come and bully you. What the Alfonso? What the Alfonso bringing in here? So drugs and a big barge. You understand? This is Mohammed Quarry. They head into here. So we all the small miners them they walking. We part all the small miners them they walking and they come and bully them, take away the land. Yeah. They come and bully them and take away the land. Now they're bringing them barge here, so they're bringing big drudge here, so excavator and all them things. Watch here. I want the government to look into these matters here, so this is what I want the government to look into. Because the small miners them could never live. No small, poor people can't live. The Alfonso them keep bullying you every time. The land is not even them own and they're saying that always them, it's them place. They come put you, bully you and all about it them place. The place is Azizin Mohammed Quarry. They say nobody can walk there. And they come and watch. They come now and the guy they know with big drudge and excavator and all kind of thing. You understand? Alright now. It's enough river in the area people living around here, so they can come and start nasty the water with a big miner. What the guy gonna do? Them don't benefit nobody, nothing. They don't give nobody nothing. They don't care nothing with nobody. I want the government, I want the president look into this matter right now.
I'm telling you, that might be a situation where we mightn't see no stones unturned in there, because guess what? They already named that connected to it, right? So what are the odds that the president is gonna look into the for benefit on their behalf? I'm telling you, there's so much things going on the ground. That's why it's important, you know, that you stay connected with Delta 9 Media. We're going to bring you all the updates and all of the headlines. Let's hear some more, because this story just might be connected, allegedly, to what's going on.
Ciparuni River. While the Army and TSU ranks were traveling up the Ciparuni River, they encountered another craft that was traveling in the other direction, because word started to get around at this point apparently that there was going to be raids conducted in the area. Now there's a boat traveling in the other direction allegedly that contained 6 women. I can't go into full details right now into how I know how many people in the boat and all these things, but let's just say it's people that was very, very close to the incident. And I ain't calling nobody name right now because you know how victimization work in this
Yeah,
country.
yeah.
We calling on a full investigation. But apparently there was like 6 women and a boat captain and some other people. There's about 6 or 8 people in this vessel coming in the other direction, unarmed civilians. And someone in the 3 boats with the TSC ranks and stuff, somebody fired shots into the air. The shots fired now scared the people in the boat, so that people started jumping into the river because they were terrified for their life. The river is high, the current is very strong right now. So people aren't looking back, people start scampering to try and get into the bushes. And in the
Wow.
process of this whole thing going down, it seems that is when Ellie Herrera, one of the women that was in the boat, her foot got tangled in what the people up there calling bush rope, some vine in the water. And it would appear, is alleged that is when she drowned, right? Now,
That's crazy, buddy. Condolences to her family and her loved ones, and rising power to our everlasting energy. I'm telling you, such a tragic situation when you gotta hear about these things going on. But nonetheless, it's good that persons could be able to bring forward this information, because this is definitely some headlines that they would sweep under the rug. We hear some more coming in from Bailey and the Rebel Bailey. And big up to the whole of VPAC out and about doing the work of the people.
the further allegations are that before encountering this woman earlier in the day, further up the mouth of the Sipruni River, these joint services rank encountered another boat with other people in it. They searched this boat and did not find anything in the boat, but they seized one of the metal detectors that the passenger had. It's a 7,000. I ain't got the full name, GZ something, a 7,000, and the people call it in the area, they call it a Muti. So the value of this metal detector is somewhere around $2.3 million, right? Is a father that is mining. This is my appeal to the police and the Guyana Defense Force. The first one, I get into the next one just now. The first appeal. This is a man that is supporting 2 young children, and this is the only means of livelihood. Y'all didn't have a warden there when you took away his thing. You did not give him a slip to say it's going to be lodged. All the man was told to check the police station if he wanted to get it back. He was not told which police station. And then subsequently, when he went to the nearest police station, they have no record of it. When he called GGMC said they were not aware of any raid going on in the area, and they have no lodgement of his equipment. So if the police and the army took away his equipment, the $2.3 million, and the next thing, nobody knows about it, it's not at any station, it is not at GGMC, it sounds like the people that took it from him stole it from him, because it's not gone through any of the official channels of being lodged where this man could go and retrieve his equipment. Whether he's supposed to pay a fine, because my understanding is they found nothing on the boat. So y'all just robbed a struggling single father who is trying to provide for his 2 children. Another man would like to know what happened to his 5 ounces of gold that he had in his possession that not been lodged nowhere, that seemed to have mysteriously vanished also with the joint services team, right? Now, how we know about these women in the boat and the shooting in the air and the people jumping in the river and all that, it's from another set of people that claim that they were tied up and robbed by the joint services.
Wow. Y'all hear them allegations there? So now you gotta worry about those who are there to serve and protect, and you gotta worry about those bad actors as well that they are supposed to protect you from. So who's really watching your back, buddy? Who could you really trust in these situations when we're hearing allegations like these coming out? Where persons is saying, hey, it's the same ones them who's supposed to be in the law enforcement, allegedly, is the ones mashing these works right here. It's crazy. Crazy when we think about it, right? But the MPs were out and about around the country, very busy. Big up to all the members of the APNU, right? They were out and about recently. And these were some of the situations that they encountered in Region 1. Moruca.
Parliament are here. The guys, we're outside of the building, and look what's happening here. Look what's happening here. Members of Parliament have come to give oversight, and they've come out to tell us we can't be here.
No.
Notice that.
We can't be here. No flying with drones.
Right?
Okay. No flying with drones.
Where is the rule for that? Where's the rule that says somewhere here, no flying of drones?
No.
We are members of Parliament in Guyana.
Exactly. You tell the MP that he can't fly a drone in an open interior like that, so that he can observe what's going on with the infrastructural development. I mean, that's part of his job. And I would hope that the MPs in any country would have the authority to go about in their service to the people. What really going on in the country, buddy? What really going on? We just hear members of VPAC highlighting the fact that allegedly some of the persons them that's supposed to be in the law enforcement is the persons them making certain steps. Now, the MPs is out highlighting what's going on in Region 1, and people telling the MP, hey, you can't fly, no fly zone for you, you can't fly no drone here to observe nothing that we do. You gotta wait till we done work. As you can clearly hear that they have a strong accent, so they might not even be Guyanese. Where is this authority coming from? Yeah, what y'all think about what we watching right here, Delta 9 Travelers? Let me watch this, Let me make sure that we pay attention to these things, These are the headlines that we gotta make sure stay on the front burner, because if we don't, they're gonna sweep this under the rug. One time, persons went highlighting what's going on in the mining area, gate lock. Now, they can't even fly a drone to analyze what's going on with construction. Remember what Honorable Amansa was just highlighting as well about the conversation with other persons in authority. This might be something different altogether as well. Big up to all the travelers right now. Take a couple of seconds if you haven't. Share this live presentation. Thumbs up the presentation so that others will be able to see what's going on the ground in our beautiful country of Guyana.
Members of Parliament are here. The guys, we're outside of the building, and look what's happening here. Look what's happening here. Members of Parliament have come to give oversight, and they've come out to tell us we can't be here.
No.
Notice that.
We can't be here. No flying with drones.
Right?
Okay. No flying with drones.
Where is the rule for that? Where's the rule that says somewhere here, no flying of drones?
No.
We are members of Parliament in Guyana.
Wait till the building finish, and when you
why are you telling me we must wait for it to finish? This is what oversight is. This is what giving oversight. This is what transparency and good governance is about. Why must we are back in Moruca, Region 1. Now, every time I come here, I peep in on this project. About 3 years ago, I stopped by. They had a fence that was 3 times the height of this fence. And the residents here, they were adamant a hospital is being built, currently being constructed behind this fence. And we went up in the air, we took a peek over, and there was nothing happening there. Now, this regional hospital here in Moruca is costing the Guyanese citizen $4.6 billion. And these many years later, we still don't have too much to show. MP, your thoughts?
Look, Sherrod, this hospital is just like the one that they spoke about in New Amsterdam, of which when we visited, the foundation is still there from 2 years ago, and nothing is there to show for the billions of dollars. Now, this facility that is going up here.
Okay, so the MP did fly the drone and get the shots. I'm telling you, big up to the whole APNU and some of the hardest working MPs in the country, Honorable Duncan and Honorable Minister Vince Roy Jordan.
100% wildcrafted sea moss. Only the best, 'cause you deserve nothing less. 8 Butterfly.
No matter where in the world, we love Guyana. What are your colors? How do you represent? I love Guyana. Order yours today. We ship worldwide. Delta 9 Media.
One love, one people, the mission complete. One love, one flag, one nation, right? Under the stars, divine presence in the sky. Unity, no war, let the children thrive. Power to the people, we keep hope alive.
Big up to all the travelers right now that are a part of the live. If you're looking for a way to support independent media, to support Delta 9 Media, then definitely support us by supporting your favorite political movement. What are your colors? Get your favorite colors now. Delta9/squarespace.com. Right?
People of the region need the proper health care. They need the services of this facility. But 3 years dragging along, $4.6 billion, and we are not yet at 50%. It is a pattern of the PPPC government. They are skilled and are becoming professionals in incomplete work. They are becoming professionals in shoddy work, or what we would term as substandard work. They are skilled in corrupt practices that we sometimes don't even know, because the $4.6 billion, I am looking at this and I'm wondering if indeed by the end of the project, if it's worth is really $4.6 billion. And so Guyanese, again, we bring to you what this government is offering to us. I really don't think it is money, value for money. And when you look at it, and you look at the timeline, nobody's held accountable for these things. If you hadn't come here, Sherrod, some years ago, no work would have started. And yet, for all, we have a minister of health who would stand in the National Assembly and argue on points when you raise them. First-hand information.
I'm telling you, the MPs is out showing exactly what's going on the ground, right? Highlighting it so that we could see and we could make our own judgment about it. Big up to the MPs who's out representing the people, making sure that these projects are put on blast when they're not on time. Because if the projects is not providing no return on investment, then it's bad for the progress of the nation. So big up to all the MPs who's out and about, and definitely let's hope that these projects can get done, and whatever might have been the hurdle that is keeping them from completing these projects, that they're able to, surmount these hurdles and deal with these things in a real way, so that persons can benefit from the wealth of the nation. Because we know there are a lot of projects that is being done, and we heard that there is a problem with the labor force. But come on, buddy. Come on now. What's going on? Too much, too often. Big up to all the travelers and to everyone who's going to catch this one in the rewind in the future. Well, guess what? The president himself is out and about highlighting some of these presidential developments that's about to be implemented in the country. Let's hear from His Excellency.
So this is what we'll be doing all across Guyana, in all our urban centers and across all our roadways. just like we're doing in Georgetown. Today, we delivered a set of equipment. Mr. Marshall here and his team will be doing exactly what we're doing in Camp Creek and all of these streets with his carpet improvement. You'll see us here improving the carpet. This will be rolled in, so it'll have seamless drainage. We'll have better parking, better walk area, and of course the beautification that comes with it. So Mr. Marshall here will be leading the team. In another 6-7 weeks, you will see an entire changed landscape alongside all of the roads in Bartica and then further afield.
All right. So that's some of the developments, some of the presidential steps that are about to be made in the country. Well, guess what? Honorable Mr. Best, right, was highlighting some of the best practices as it relates to the Guyana Development Bank. Listen. Mr. Best is about to help us to understand certain limits that are being placed before us that we definitely got to nip in the bud before certain things get going, or else we don't got a lot of problems. But nonetheless, let's jump into these headlines right here. Because on Delta 9 Media, we're all about bigging up, promoting, and supporting one another. And right now, that's what we're about to get into right here. Because we're about to present this video coming from Shalene Global, right? And he's going to give us some insights about how his business and services can help you. And we're going to give him a free shout out right here on Delta 9 Media to help to promote everything that he has going on. Why? Because we can, and it's Delta 9 Media. Big up to all the travelers.
I have an MBA. I'm pursuing a PhD. I have over a decade of experience in business management, hospital administration, and quality management. I am a published author. I speak Arabic. I understand business, systems, documentation, compliance, and people. But that is not just a CV. That is the experience you get when you work with Shalene Global Business, Immigration, and Quality Solutions. All services are offered at a minimal fee, and you deal directly with me, not a receptionist, not an assistant, me. So if you need help with business registration, GRA, NIS, payroll, business plans, tenders, oil and gas documentation, ISO, visas, HR, or general business support, message me today. We respond by WhatsApp message only, no calls. Let's get your documents right. Let's get your business moving.
I'm telling you, big up to Shalene Global. Each one help one, each one push one, and help one another to grow. That's how we're going to make a better Guyana and improve our situations all over the globe. No matter where we're there. It's an international digital connection, and we could network and promote one another and build one another, one business at a time. Big up to Shalene Global. You can see the numbers on the screen, and y'all don't know what you gotta do. Well, we're gonna get some of these best practices right now coming in from the leader of VPAC. He was highlighting this.
Not being able to benefit from the development bank. The way the current bill is tabled, it leaves all the power in the hands of the minister, who gets to pick the director. This can never be a good thing. We're asking and we're calling the entire opposition to support directors that would come not just from the government or the minister, but the opposition get to put directors on that board, members of the civil society, and experts. I think you all would feel that's a fair thing. We want a bank that every Guyanese can benefit from and feel like they're a part of this bank. The money that is used to fund this bank, people, are money that came from the natural resource funds. It's your money. This bank is not funded the typical way the Scotiabank or Republic Bank is funded. This bank is funded with your money. So we're calling on the government to allow and to entertain and to approve, I should say the government, the president, to see that this bank benefits every Guyanese. Many Guyanese today are super excited. They want to be a part of this bank. But I'm going to remind you again, people, if we do not act now, too late shall be the cry. The way this bank is structured right now, people, the minister gets to pick all the directors. There wouldn't be anyone from the opposition, the way it's structured. There wouldn't be anyone from civil society. There wouldn't be any expert. I don't see anywhere in the world where that would be fair. Secondly, we have asked, and we've been asking for the government to publish the procedures. What I mean, people, what will it take for someone to be approved for a loan? It is unfair for all that power to be left in the discretion of the directors. No, we want to be able to have the guidelines out there so people can see what it takes to be qualified for this loan. We are also asking that this loan be not to be treated or to be affected. Our citizens shouldn't be affected because of their past credit history, meaning if they would have had a bad history with courts, they had a bad history with some car dealer. This bank is a development bank that is being funded with the people's money. So we are asking of the government to relax those stringent procedures to make sure that the approval is based on the project that is being presented, the feasibility study that's on the project, the employment that it will create in these communities, and how much it will help these young entrepreneurs get started in life. And remove, they've suffered for so long that maybe some of their failure might have been based upon their suffering. What we're asking for today is also for a database to be published. We must be able to see in the public domain that 30 people got a loan in region 1, 30 got a loan in region 2, all the way to region 10. I'm just using numbers here. We must be able to see that every region, every community is benefiting from this bank. It must be a public database. We're also asking for other areas to be published. A young man called me, said he had a barbershop. He only had one chair. He wants to increase that to 4. He wants to know if, because his business is an existing business, will he be able to, he should be able to get a loan because he's expanding. But none of this is published. Another family couple called me, a group of guys called me. 10 of them wants to come together because they have a brilliant idea. What will it take? Will they need 1 company, 2 companies, or 5 companies merging together? How do you structure that? Because one person is equivalent to 0 to 3 million. What if 10 of them are to come together and their project makes sense? Will they need 1 company? Will they need 10 separate companies? Will they need 10 separate compliance? Or would they need a cooperation showing that they become directors on this one company? I couldn't answer that question.
I'm telling you, so many questions to be answered and so much updates that we're definitely gonna have to make sure that we bring to you about everything that's going on with the Guyana Development Bank. Because persons are asking questions, and we're here right there, is one of the leaders in the political space. Big up yourself to the Honorable Mr. Darwin Bess, the leader of VPAC, right? Highlighting some of the things that persons want to know, things that we're trying to understand. Because a lot of persons are excited about what's going on right now. A lot of the benefits that they can gain from the Guyana Development Bank. We all think Delta 9 travelers. Drop it in the comment section. You had a chance in other live presentations to hear some of the other opposition leaders speak on the Guyana Development Bank. You heard from the president as well speak on the Guyana Development Bank. And we heard a number of times Mr. Bess has been highlighting different things about what's going on with the development bank. So many headlines that we would have updated one another with in this quick live presentation as we get up to speed with a number of headlines that are there right now, trending and very, very important. So make sure that you drop a comment in the comment section. And if you're not subscribed, buddy, make sure you hit that subscription button. It costs you nothing to subscribe. but it will keep you connected with every single thing that is trending in Guyana and in the diaspora. We are here right now with Delta 9 Media, and I want to say big up to all of those who took some time to spend some time with us. And guess what? One love, and I will catch you in the next presentation.